Okay guys, hello, good afternoon, welcome to the 737 Aviation channel. Today again flying this beautiful Honda Jet. At the moment we are located at Courchevel in French Alps. Let me change the camera. So some of you probably heard about the airport. It's located in the Alps itself. So it's on the mountain slope. You have to take off and land this direction going down way. It's like kind of a ski jump. Uh, so you might expect some very light jets in here, but that's really not too often that you see them here. And you will see a lot of YouTube videos containing these kind of crashes and accidents. Like for instance, Cessna CJ2 that's just landed too far and crashed into the snowbank in here. Unfortunately, I couldn't set the real world weather because it was too foggy or it was too cloudy at this altitude, so I had to change the weather a bit and improve it a little. And today we'll be flying this beautiful Honda Jet, as I said it to you before, and that's the MG Honda Jet, which is still under the development, but it is already getting there, I see. If you need further details about that, please visit the MG Honda Jet Discord page, and you do have the link just below the video. And additionally, if you want to join me on VATSIM or watch me on VATSIM, that's the flight which is online, and the flight plans are available on the description below the video. So, let's get into flight deck. As you see, we do have new paint job in here. We have a couple of paint jobs actually, and I have chosen that one, of course, because that's my first kind of Honda Jet that I was flying myself. Sierra Papa Charlie Hotel Echo, and it's absolutely beautiful. So yeah, maybe later on we'll show you some different paint jobs available on this one. So I see the ground power is available, so we can put the external power on. And yeah, the Garmin has already started up. Enter. Okay, so once we get to flight deck, we get, of course, this initialization page that we do every single time. And it's getting updated with new updates, and we can push the pre-flight button and see how it does the fire detection tests, left and right, then storm protection, left and right. Yeah, actually this one is doing that on both times on left, and the switch illumination again. Nope, I want to gear down, please. Once we've done that one, we can go to weight and balance. Basic empty weight 7203 pounds. Crew and stores we have 420. We usually use 420 as a crew and stores. Payload, we do have one passenger of about 70 kilograms, so 150 pounds, just to double check that. Fuel weight and balance, we do have two pilots and we don't have any passenger yet. Let's put him here on the seat number 3. So we have one passenger and he has about, let's say, 10 kilograms of cargo, so 22 pounds. Fuel wise, we have 2050. I need to double check how much do we need actually from the flight plan. We don't really want to take full tanks as it's very short runway. We don't want to be overweighted. We need 1860, so we do have 200 extra. Taxi fuel is gonna be, I would say, rather 60. It's very short taxi here. We just start up the engines and go a couple of meters forward, and that's the runway we have in here. So 60 pounds should work for us. And landing is not available yet, and we stay on the ground, so it doesn't really matter. And if you don't put any of these inputs in here, the next button will not be available, so you need to put all of them, then you can hit next and go to speeds 108, oh sorry, 109, 111 and VT of 120. So the airplane would calculate that for us, but unfortunately this Garmin doesn't have this feature yet. And those the speeds we are usually using on Honda Jet. It's differing for 1 knot maybe, so it doesn't really make a big difference on that. All on, and we should have these speeds displayed in here. We go back, and those are completing the initialization phase of the flight. Then we go to a flight plan. We need to put in the flight plan as well. If you want to join me, of course, again, the flight plan is available on the description link. And yeah, I'm getting a bit stuck. Ah, there we go. For some reason, if I'm moving around the flight deck, the mouse in MFS, Microsoft Flight Simulator, is just getting disappeared, and I cannot put it back. So, Lima, Fox, Lima, Juliet, Courchevel, and we're following to Lesu, Lima, Echo, Sierra, Uniform. And the flight plan is going to be direct to Balsy, Bravo Alpha, Lima, Sierra, India, Balsy, France. Sounds great. Then Upper November 852, load airway. Upper November 852 into Divco. Sort A to Z, that's easier to find. Divco. That's loaded, and then we have Upper November 975. So load airway. Upper November what did it say, 975? And the exit point is gonna be Bravo Golf Romeo. Is it still loading? Yeah, there we go. Bravo Golf Romeo, so we have 4 points in here. Then Upper Lima 110 into Latro. Latro load airway, and then we do have the destination from Latro. VNAV, let's enable the VNAV, and we put something in here later on, so she will be able to calculate the route. So we're going from Courchevel to Balsy, then to Divco, then to Bagur, and then to Latro. We can expand all these airways, and once you hit the extend, you can see all the points as follows: Bagur, Girona, Mamuk, Latro, and then Lesu. So the total distance is 390 nautical miles, and the flight plan is saying 418, which is kind of correct for me. At least it should work. So once we accept the initialization, we do have the speed box. I'm not clicking that button, otherwise the Garmin will go just nuts. So let's go to charts. Lima, Fox, Lima, Juliet. We don't have any charts on that, I guess. That's basically VFR airport. So yeah, we're not going to have any chart on here. If you want to find a chart, you can go to Google and you'll find Google charts easily. What's happening on the chat? So good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Bartosz is waiting for 737. This sim is powerful without any add-ons. It is, but you know, physics are kind of bad yet. Why is Zurich in the title? I was supposed to fly from Zurich, but for some reason I have decided. Sorry for that. I'm not paying for YouTube Premium. I have decided to fly from Courchevel. So let's change that one as long as I remember. Dzień dobry, panie Mirosławie, siemaneczko. Okay, it should work now. So if you have any questions regarding the Honda Jet itself or MG Honda Jet Discord page, please. So I don't have any information about release date, price, etc., etc. So it should be available kind of soon, but we don't know it yet. The source is going to be FMC. Let's adjust the heading. It's 041. And initial stop altitude, I would go with, let's say, 10,000 feet. We are around 6,700. And we need to go to sensors. PFD settings, other PFD settings, altitude units, QNH 1013. And the QNH here is 1021. So we're going to set 1021. And that's 6,600, which is roughly correct. And let's set the standby as well. I cannot switch standby to inch to hectopascal yet, but that's enough on here. Okay, wind. I would like to have option 3, which is kind of my favorite option, and it's basically displaying this kind of little arrow with wind speed. You can have this one without direction, or this one which is just displaying the components. It's 1 knot tailwind, so it's not too bad, but it's not really favorable situation. Before we start anything else, I hit the toga and flight level change, and I go level change 140. And I go as well with heading select, which won't be much of use because we are going to descend into the valley, gain the speeds, and then ascend out of the valley visually, so we're not going to keep the heading anyway. That's pretty much everything that is done. We can go here, go to checklist, and before starting engine checklist, batteries on, oxygen checked on and normal, so it's on. We have to press that one. Everything is normal in here. Prestation is normal, so it's both normal. Electrical on and normal, so we have on, normal. ELT is normal. Nose wheel steering, normal, it's just in here. Landing gear lever, down, and we check it's down here. Parking brake is set. Parking brake, we check it if it's set just in here, not the lever itself, but it's in here. Flaps are up, thrust levers are cut off. Speed brake is retracted, ice protection is normal and off, normal and off. Fuel panel is normal. Trim panel is all set. Windshield heat panel normal. Pneumatic panel is normal. Glare sheet panels are dark, so none of those switches is illuminated. Chime normal and dark. Avionics installation completed. Then starting engine, passenger briefing completed. Rudder pedals adjusted. Those rudder pedals have 2 positions, so they can be either back or fall forward. If you are over, let's say, 170 centimeters, you want to have it fully back. Seat belts adjust secure. Doors are closed. Are they? They are closed. Parking brake set. Cast messages all reviewed. Yep. Elec volt 23.5 minimum. We have 29 because we do have the ground power connected. If you disconnect the ground power, it will drop to 25, then start dropping further. Engine start, selected engine, press. So once we've done the checklist, we can check if everything is clear on the left and then the right, and we can start engine number 2. Apparently Marwan was working on the engine start time, so it's a bit shorter than it used to be, as the Honda Jet in real life is starting within a couple of seconds. And that's kind of, flight simulator restriction that developers cannot really overcome anyhow. So cabin power is off. Yeah, we need to switch it on. But it will come off after the second generator will come online. We can actually take a look on the electrical page, and you see that this generator is already working, but this one is still offline. And once this one will be online, we'll be able to switch on the cabin power as well. So engine jumper 2 is stable, we're starting engine jumper 1. Press the button, move to idle. And the FADEC will do everything for us. We don't need to monitor anything. I mean, technically we should monitor, but it's unlike the other airplanes. You don't wait for N2 or N1 or something, you just put it on and press the button. And FADEC will start the engines himself. So now you see the both generators are online. The external power has disconnected itself, and we can switch on the cabin power on. The other thing I want to do is set Squawk 2000, and I want to have altitude reporting already, and 1228 122.8 active, and 121.5 on standby. On the second set, there's no ATC yet, but we are flying in VATSIM with this new velocity update, so hopefully everything will be working. So two engines are good. We go flaps takeoff approach. We check the speed brake extended, speed brake retracted, then flight controls forward, back, left, right, and the rudders left, center, and right, center. That's the before taxi procedure. We just need to hit the before taxi checklist, which is just under the wheel in here. Yeah, why not? Engine instruments are checked. I can click on the wheel as well. Engine anti-ice not required. External power disconnected. Flight controls free incorrect. Before taxi, wing anti-ice not required. Transponder code is entered. Flight ID is confirmed. We cannot put really flight ID yet in this Garmin. Flight plan is entered. We already checked the flight plan. Navigation source is set. That's the FMS. Altimeters 1021 set 3 times, and it's reading 6,570. So you see that we are quite high in addition to very short runway. So yeah, that's the safe taxi tank we have in here. Altimeters are set, flaps are set for takeoff, so I have take approach, green light. Speed brake checks retracted, cabin signs are coming to be on. So everything is set from the FMC. Cabin signs are on, and parking brake release. One more thing I haven't done yet is the stop trim to be 4 units at least on flaps take approach. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that's the before taxi check is completed. Next is taxi checklist, brakes, nose twisting, flight instrument check, and I do the before takeoff checklist just in here, so we're not losing time before the runway. Flaps are set for takeoff. We have take approach trims set for takeoff. Speed brake is retracted. CAS messages, we just have the parking brake on, but I will release the parking brake. It should go off. There we go. Navigation is set, flight guidance, we have heading, flight level change 140 set. Told data 109, 120, 109, 111, 120 set, takeoff briefing. So that's gonna be left hand departure from runway 04, and that's basically visual departure. So that's not much to brief. And any case we have an engine failure or something, we have to continue. There is no V1 speed once we get down to the slope. So once we pass this point, we basically cannot stop. We have to fly either way. Radar is off, ice protection is off, and that's before takeoff. Checklist completed, and yeah, I want to switch off the checklist. Systems should work in here. Just let me double check the VAD sim. Okay, there is somebody, but not in here. Parking brake is released, and okay guys, fingers crossed. I'm not really sure if we gonna be able to take off from here. I mean, we should be able, but you know, you never know. Oh, come on, this guy is standing very close to me, but just ignore him. Yeah, it's nicely there. The brakes are checked, the nose wheel steering is checked, and the flight instruments are checked, like in the taxi checklist. And we want to use full runway length, so we don't want to waste too many meters. And as you see in Honda Jet, the lights are all automatic, so once you start taxiing they will come on. Once you slow down they will switch off. That's kind of a center line, so I will have like 5 meters extra if I do like this. So I'm not really aligned, but want to have some extra meters for that. Maybe just a couple of degrees to the right. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so everything is all set. I'm holding the brake. And yeah, let's wish me good luck. Set takeoff thrust. We wait for the engines to spool up. 91%, let's go. Takeoff thrust set. So once we pass the slope, we cannot really decide to stop. Yeah, now we have to fly anyway, and you see the runway is super short. We have 80 knots. Let's do a small rotation. We have to descend and accelerate. Gear up. Speed 140, and we can go back to climb. That wasn't so bad. I did expect it to be a bit worse. So we are going to be staying with maximum takeoff power for 5 minutes, so we want to go above this terrain around. Flaps are going to up. Let's adjust the heading, and we basically follow this valley and then climb back to the point we are supposed to go. Yeah, speed 170, so we are already high on speed. And autopilot coming back to on. And we want to continue climbing to level 410. Let's say initially 200 should work. And I can go to max continuous thrust. Set standard, please. 2992. Standard set. And it seems that we are getting nicely above all the terrain in here. Yeah, looks like. So we go direct to select waypoint. Yeah. Maybe I select that from flight plan. Balsy, direct to Balsy, and FMS. So it looks like we're clear of all terrain. We can accelerate to our final climb out speed, which is 210 knots. 210 knots. Okay, so passing 140, 210. Let's set the flight level 410 and let's continue with after takeoff checklist. Landing gear is up, air dampener is on, flaps are up, thrust levers are empty, flight guidance is as required, ice protection is off, cabin signs are on. That's after takeoff checklist completed. Next we have climb checklist, pressurization checked, and altimeter's transition altitude set standard, it's set. And cruise checklist, which is kind of useless in Honda Jet. Altimeters set and systems monitor. So I don't really see the point of this checklist. So some of you probably wondering if it would be possible to land a Honda Jet in Courchevel, and I do believe it would be. Definitely taking off from there would be possible, but as you say, like, you have to lose the altitude, you have to trade the altitude for speed on initial phase of takeoff. Unlike regular departures, you're not climbing straight after liftoff, but you have to descend a couple hundred feet just to regain the speed. Awesome. Lima Echo Sierra uniform. I'm just wondering if we do have the charts. Yeah, we do have the charts. This airport, the Andorran airport, is really nice as well because it's located inside the mountains. I mean, you are approaching along the mountains, you will see that. And then it has really short runway. It has 1,260 meters, which is kind of short, 4,200 feet roughly. And it's quite high, so that's adding a bit of trick into the landing. But I just decided it's gonna be a nice place to fly to. Okay, so we're following to Barcy, and after Barcy we're going to have a kind of sharp left turn, and after that one we follow towards Mike Tango Golf, which is Marseille, next to Marseille, and then we go to España. And the Andorran airport itself, it's located actually in Spain, even if it's called Andorra. So they're working on kind of, you know, bilateral agreement between those two countries. So yeah, it's easier to operate that in the real one than in here. So Andorra itself is here, and the airport is here, and it's called Andorra. And it's something like if you land in this one, you don't need the passport control here. So they have some kind of agreement on that one. Okay, seems good. I would just want to double check if there is nobody on VATSIM. And I'm jumping back to see what's happening on the chat in just a second. As some of you know, probably I am flying on one screen only. I'm flying on a laptop, so don't really have too much space to share the screen and see the chat all the time. Okay, we are just in here, and there is absolutely no ATC on the way. There's just Munich, which is active, and some Finland, unfortunately, but maybe somebody will come online before we get there. Okay, so let me think what we should do. Okay, we're approaching Barcy, and I want to get this leg active. he might go a bit nuts. But that's the Garmin in here. And now we should go turning left to Kotit. I will match the heading with that. I can use the full bank, please. It's getting this half bank mode, or low bank as it's called on Garmin, above flight level 200. So you have this little green banana in here, which is indicating maximum bank the aircraft can reach. And on this kind of altitude you still have quite nice margin. You don't need to use that just yet. Okay, once we turned, I can go to low bank mode again and just take a look what's happening. So if he's going to rejoin the airway, or is he going to follow some, you know, time and space he calculated. But it looks like he's actually going back to the route. Okay, so let's go back to the chat. Mike Sierra, the new one, Sierra Papa Mike Charlie Hotel, seems to be preparing for departure from Bremen. Hi Captain, hi chat, hi. Trish Friskim. What is the airtime? Airtime is 1 hour and 15 minutes today. Takeoffs, landings, hi guys. Can you change back to live weather? I will do that after we reach the cruising altitude, so I'm not getting some wind shear during the climb out, but you can remind me again. Raycon, wow, that have to be a powerful laptop. It's a nice quality. I mean, it's not really the most powerful laptop, I guess. It's so-called gaming laptop, MSI GL something something, which is not too bad, but I can use it as a heater. I don't need to switch on my heating in my apartment. I just switch on the laptop and switch on the MFS. And talking about the Honda Jet itself, you can hear that we do have the new sound pack, which is pre-recorded from one of my videos. It sounds a bit better than the previous one. The previous one was just copied from the Citation CJ2, which was still okay. I didn't really feel the difference itself, but this one is what you hear in Honda Jet. It's really quiet airplane inside. And from outside it's giving you this whistling sound, like, you know, old water boiler or something. 320, and yeah, in the meantime, before we get to the top of climb and we change the weather and everything, I can go to meet our viewer, Lima Echo Sierra uniform, just to double check what the weather is there. 220 at 6, Cav, okay. 15 degrees centigrade, -5, QNH 1025. Awesome. So let's go to charts and arrival, lateral arrival. We don't have many arrivals here, we have just lateral, Lipsa, and then visual to the runway. And approach, we have only RNP 03, which is again requiring the pilot, before you do that, you have to do the simulated training or self-briefing at least. So we are following to the lateral point, and procedure arrival, we are going to have lateral. We don't have any arrivals on that in the database, neither the approach, but we can create something here. So starting from very beginning, lateral arrival, lateral, and then Upisa. That's not gonna be the longest one I made ever. Latro, Upisa, Upisa, España, see, 8,000 above. I want to have 8,000, just in case. And after that, we're going to go to RNP approach runway 03, which is going to start from Upisa. And from Upisa we are going to follow Sierra Uniform 17 Sierra. So Sierra Uniform 17 Sierra. We do have this point. Awesome. Then Sierra Uniform 09 Sierra. Sierra Uniform 09er Sierra. Enter. And then 06 Sierra. Sierra Uniform 06 Sierra. Sierra Uniform 06 Sierra. Spain. And then we go to Sierra Uniform 04 Sierra. Sierra Uniform 04 Sierra. And then we basically proceed direct to destination Sierra Uniform 400. I just type it in because why not? Sierra Uniform 400. And the elevation of the airport is 2,630. So we need to put this altitudes here. Sierra Uniform 17 Sierra is 7,300. 7,300. Then 09er Sierra is at 7,000. Then 5,600 passing this one. Not 56,000 but 5,600. And VNAV is active, so it should be working. And if I remove that, it will calculate. But I want to be 7,000. And 7,300, we have 8,000. It should work here. And this one is 8,000, which is well over, so it's not even displayed here. And that's it. So we do have the weather. We already 6.8 on the speed, so we want to keep 6.8. We don't want to go all above the barbell pole, otherwise we exceed the speed. And we can go to flight level 430 for cruise, because why not? That's the maximum certified for Honda Jet. And the wind-wise, we do have 220 at 6, so the wind is going to be 220 at 6, so we might need to do the circling. So we're going to get here and then do right circle visual to the runway, which should work nicely. How is the fuel burn and time to climb vs handbooks? So basically it's using a little bit more fuel than the real one on the climb out, but at the end of the day it's pretty much what is in the flight plan, and it's more or less what you expect. One day we can take a real flight plan and just type it in and take a look on the real figures to see is this one well different than the other one. I have a company code that I have to pick up. Okay, I'm back, guys. Back with you. 6-8, and we have one to go. We don't need to climb that slow. We can go with 1000 feet per minute. And we are going to switch to real world weather just in a second. Flight plan is all set. Map is all set. We are just passing a red now. And why I don't have the VNAV yet? Maybe if I set this 8000 here. Whatsoever. We'll try to work on that in a second. The destination 2370, that's the altitude. So maybe he will give me VNAV in a second. Let me finish the climb out. This is actually the working title Garmin. That's not the completely custom Garmin, but it's made by the working title based on the default Garmin we have in the MFS. So it's still lacking a bit of functionality. It does have some functionality which is given us by the developer of HondaJet. Okay, we have top of climb. I put the throttle back a little, and we can engage the CSC, which is cruise speed control, as kind of like cruise control in your car. It will keep the speed that it was set. So if I switch it on at Mach 683, it will keep 683. It's taking a lot of workload out of you. Yeah, the Microsoft Flight Simulator is looking well better than the X-Plane. But otherwise, I still don't like it. Piotr is asking, this artificial horizon, how does it show terrain? Does it use GPS radar? It's basically a database, the computer database, and it's using the GPS position for that. So if any case you lose the GPS, then the horizon will look like this. Once you lose the GPS, it's gonna go like this. You have to have both GPSs to have the synthetic vision available. Yono Sigo within 10% then on fuel burn. Yeah, it's kind of within 10%. I wouldn't say it's really different than the real one. What do you use for weather? I find the in-game weather awful. Never correct weather or winds aloft. This keeps me from flying the game due to lack of reality weather-wise. To be honest, I'm not using any plugin on the weather. I'm just using the default weather, but I'm not really flying in MFS too much. I'm usually using X-Plane, and X-Plane I do have this Active Sky add-on, which is absolutely amazing. Okay, let's go with live weather. Yeah, that's the reason they want to switch it on during the climb out. 44,000 feet. Yeah, there we go. Okay, just slow down, mate. If somebody is observing me on VATSIM, it just went nuts. So hopefully no controller here yet. Okay, we're back to 430. We can stay with Mach 7. So we're not going to get there very for a long time. And cruise speed control. There we go. Top of descent. It just appeared out of nowhere. 24 minutes top of descent. Okay, I do accept that. So let's go outside and take a look outside. Seagull, does it keep the speed with pitch? I would say it does. It's giving you really realistic feeling with the speech, attitude, etc. Maybe I would say it's a bit too powerful in the game compared to the real one. I mean, the real one at level 430 you would be able to maintain like 6.6, 6.7, and here you have 0.7 with 86% of N1, and you still can accelerate. In the real Honda, you wouldn't be able to, at least, exceed the maximum speed at this altitude in level flight. And this one would do that easily, so it's a bit overpowered, just in my opinion. You can take a look on this small, tiny cockpit. Spend tens of hours tuning that behavior. It keeps stream speed nicely. Yeah, it does, certainly. Good afternoon, Marwan. Welcome to the stream. So, guys, we have the creator of the Honda Jet in here as well. And the flight is good. It's all good. We have taken off from Courchevel. And we are flying at level 430 inbound to Marseille, actually close to Marseille, towards Andorra. So all is good. It's actually giving nice feeling in the sound pack that you have created. And maybe some of you won't believe that, but the Honda Jet is really quiet inside in flight. You can talk like normal people does in the car or something. You don't need to shout it through. How come you went from flying 737s to Honda Jet? Do you like it better? To be honest, I like the kind of job more than 737. 737 you were flying like 80 hours a month. Of course, before COVID. So we used to fly a lot, and after a while you're just getting, tired. So I was looking for something new, and the Honda Jet was fine. I mean, I just wanted to have to go to the business aviation, and they offered me Honda Jet, so kind of coincidence that I ended up on this one. But I really like it. I did have the choice between this one and the Hawker 800, I think, or 400. I think it was 800. But I have decided that Honda Jet has worse range, so we're not going to fly to the other side of the world. And after a while, you just want to stay at home. You don't want to go places. Thanks, Yono. See you next time. Rafael Felipe, what is your computer configuration? I can't really tell you. I have Intel Core i7, some NVIDIA 2080, I think, and the rest I don't really know. It's basically laptop, so nothing really special. So-called gaming laptop. I do spend a lot of time in the hotels and in travel, so I want to keep my laptop with me. And since I'm streaming, I did this decision to buy the gaming laptop. That's nice. So we're now flying over Marseille, and that's the Marseille airport, and that's the Marseille city, so it's kind of far away from the city. It's really... The airport is just standard. It's nothing special, but the city is really beautiful. One of the best cities in French Côte d'Azur area. I like it, at least myself. Twist. Pedro. Welcome to the stream. I haven't seen you flying for a while. And I cannot speak Portuguese here, so I just leave that behind. And Xenos Design, are you a pilot in real life? Unfortunately, I am. Unfortunately. Mario asking how many knots beyond maximum Mach number will the aircraft actually experience structure damage? I haven't checked that, to be honest. I don't want to check that. The Honda Jet has this protection that if you go like Mach 7.3, it will start pitching up to prevent overspeed. So it's Mach 7.3 or 275 knots, and it will just start pitching up, so not overstressing the structure. This awesome, I think, flying corporate would be more interesting. It's actually a lot more interesting than airlines. You know, the airline flying is just flying from A to B all the time. You don't really see new airports, new places, and in corporate aviation it happens all the time. Like, you know, every day it's a different story. You can just wake up and then you go to Samedam or to States or whatever. And in the airline flying you don't have that. Oh, forgot that. I did install the FlyLife overlay. There we go. I just wanted to check if it's working. So it's kind of big. Oh, that's fine. I will leave it with that. The landing time is 14:52 Zulu, so in about 25 minutes, and it would make sense for me. Except that it doesn't really count for the deceleration. How do you feel about the quality of the Honda Jet compared to other Corp jets? I have heard different opinions, but I know some pilots think the Phenoms feel cheap. I don't know the Phenoms. I saw the Phenom 100, but it was long time ago. It was one of the first Phenom 100s. And it even had these seats. The cockpit seats were not leather, but it was like, you know, this kind of plastic cover or something. But it was one of the first Phenoms on the market, so I cannot really compare that to the new Honda Jet. But this one feels like really well done. I mean, it's kind of minimalistic, so you don't really have a lot of wood or something. It's just like very simple interior, but it feels good. And especially you have the windows in the toilet, like you can watch the stars while taking poo. So, you know, extra points for creation. Pedro, not flying much recently, just focusing on the ATPL exams, boring as we both know. Of course, ATPL exams are the worst part of the job, of the training at least. So, which part you are on now? Have you already passed anything? Okay, I see that Madrid Control has become online, but I'm not going to fly there anyway. I will just turn inbound before I even hit the Madrid Control, unfortunately. But it's fine, maybe the other guy will come in. We'll see that. We'll see that in a second. So we do have 15 minutes to top of descent, and we have set up everything for the RNAV approach for runway. Which runway have we set at the end? I can't remember that. We are going to do the RNP approach for runway 03 with circling to runway 21. So we are going to go to minimums and then visually turn right here. We cannot really circle to the east of the runway because of the terrain in here. Oh, we can. Let me check that. It should be written somewhere. RNF unrequired. Circuit to land. Prohibited west of the runway. So actually I have to go to the east. I have to brake up to the right, not to the left. So for landing, we'll go towards the runway and then brake to the right and land on runway 21. Just hope it's not going to be full of snow or something. Otherwise, I'm not going to see the runway because Microsoft Flight Simulator is not drawing the runway when it's under the snow, which you might see on the previous stream when it flew to Samedan. So that's all prepared. Utilities setup. I cannot set the minimums just yet. So we're gonna hit the map. And yep, this is done. We can go to descent checklist. Field elevation is not set because I cannot set it in Garmin yet. Engine anti-ice is not required. Altimeters at transition altitude gonna be 1021, but it's not there yet, so we're waiting for the altimeters. So it's really well done outside. I guess you spent some hours modeling that. It was me. Cześć Tomasz. So let's go to the VFR map. Let's take a look. Where are we at the moment? We're just over the Leon Bay. We just passed Marseille, flying towards Barcelona. And once we pass, we actually not flying towards Barcelona itself. We just reach the coast here, then turn right and fly back north. So we basically flying this way, and it's the same on the map, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. So pass over Girona, then turn right and go to Lesu Andorra airport. It's kind of a lot of traffic in here. And the VNAV feature is not implemented by the working title yet. Hopefully soon it will be. So guys, I leave you for 1 minute and I'll be back in a second. Okay folks, I'm back with you. So after we finish that one, after we land in Andorra, I will start up the X-Plane 11 and I will start recording the simulator type rating for the 737 Aviation. So the next episode of the type rating in English will be available probably on Saturday. And my Polish stream, which is supposed to be tomorrow, I might need to postpone that just after the weekend, so it might not happen tomorrow because the work reasons. But we'll try to do that as soon as possible. So for my Polish subscribers, don't be surprised if we delay the stream from tomorrow. Maybe not, maybe yes. We'll not. I don't know yet. Everything is kind of, you know, liquid in here. Cześć Wojtek. So this overlay is actually working. It seems that it's working. 42453 feet. And I just wonder how much is it on the VATSIM. Yeah, 42400. More or less correct. And I'm still waiting for the PMDG 737 for the Microsoft Flight Simulator. Otherwise, we don't have any good add-ons yet. So that's the only airplane I'm flying the flight simulator right now, the Honda Jet. Otherwise, I don't find anything interesting. So there's the coast, and we are descending in like 5 minutes from now. 7 minutes from now, we start at the top of descent. I don't need this point in here at 8,000 feet. Maybe we can just delete that, remove FNAF altitude. And now she's not calculating top of descent. No, she is. So 7 minutes 40 seconds. Should work nicely. Map settings and inset window. We can switch it on and off. On the Honda Jet we can have as well the vertical profile. Aviation, airways. I don't need that. Intersections I don't need, NDBs I don't need. Maybe I want to have the intersections, just in case of misapproach. Road, cities, and states. Yep. Track to vector, wind vector, fuel rings, range to altitude. Okay, sounds good to me. Waypoint info. We go to Lima Echo Sierra Uniform. Enter. And I cannot click the weather yet, but I can switch on the info and runway info. Can take a look on the map. How does it look like? But before we take a look on the map, I want to go to map settings and switch on the terrain. Waypoint info, airport. Options, show on map. Okay, on this one it's just not showing, so far enough. I'm not really sure if the real one does it or not, but just in case. Okay, so I don't want to have the terrain. I mean, that's kind of American thing that have all of these colors on the screen all the time. I just want to have the relative terrain. So if there is any terrain that is above me, it will be displayed. Otherwise, it's not. Maybe not only above, but any terrain that is kind of a threat to me, it will be displayed. I mean, if you have like this, it's just getting like, you know, toy plane, which I don't like for some reason. I just got used to black and white. especially compared to 737, that you don't have the water even marked on 737. 737 was just black. Didn't give you the information if you're flying over the land or water. And just a quick update on the VATSIM. I just did Madrid, so not much choice here. We're not going to contact anyone anyway. Please try the Just Flight Piper Arrow for VFR. I am waiting for the GA planes from A2A personally. I haven't tried any yet. I might type that into the notebook. Piper Arrow, Just Flight. Piper Arrow, Just Flight. Yeah, looks nice, but I know I have promised myself that I'm not going to buy any add-ons to Microsoft Flight Simulator again. Of course, I broke that promise many times already, so maybe I'm gonna buy the Piper Arrow as well. I'm not flying VFR a lot lately, so maybe we have to go back to flying VFR as well. Last VFR flight I did in May, so almost a year ago. Yeah, I'm getting lazy. And that's the one cool thing about the Microsoft Flight Simulator, the VFR flying. Otherwise it's kind of useless. Top of descent is in 3 minutes, so I'm gonna pre-select the 8,000 feet. I just discovered that if you hold shift, it will rotate the knob a little bit faster, but it doesn't really change much. Now let's go with 8,000 feet. Match the heading. And take a look what's happening with the weather here. Lima Echo Sierra Uniform QNH 1024. And we definitely have to land on 2-1. That's a short runway, and we don't want to land with 7 knots tailwind. Two minutes to top of descent. So let's take a look on the chat. Jack Flash, what is left to be developed before release? So in my opinion it's all good now, but Marwan is just waiting to make it really perfect, I guess. And if you want to have all the details about the release, please be welcome to join MG Honda Jet Discord page, which is linked into the description box below the video. I don't have many details myself just yet. Or maybe I do have any details. No, I don't have any details yet. So for more details, just join the MG Discord, MG Honda Jet Discord page, guys. Safe landing, thank you very much. Buy a Piper Arrow and bring it to Rzeszów. Rzeszów. I start speaking like I don't understand the words. Okay, 50 seconds top of descent, so we can go to reduce the thrust a little. In the real one, we go about 75%. So vertical speed, and I start with 1000 initially. And it should keep around the same Mach number with 75% of N1. I mean, the IAS will start increasing, but the Mach number will be the same with that. And then we're gonna follow 2000 feet per minute, just to be on track. It's 0.7, so it's pretty much the same. Of course, the wind weather conditions are all changing the profile, but 75 is working usually on this. Okay, 2000 feet now per minute, so minus 1900. And with that, we should have around 70% of N1 in order to keep the constant Mach number. Okay, so that was the top of descent, and the fuel on destination we have 1150 pounds, which is quite a lot. I did expect that I'm gonna have less than that, but it's quite nice. We're approaching Girona, and Girona. Okay, sorry for that, guys. Marwan, some small additional features. Take a mode landing speed pages, mainly general debugging. So that's Girona. We're flying towards Girona airport itself in here, and the Barcelona is just in there. And that's the Pyrenees mountains. We're going to fly there, turn right, northbound, and land in Andorra. Hopefully it's not going to be fully covered in snow, but we'll see that. As we are all set to go, yeah, we have some. I see like really small glitches here, but I guess Marwan is seeing more glitches than I do. For some reason, I am 270 feet below the profile, so I just reduced the descent rate. I remember on my first flight I have hit the speed bug here, and it was just blocking the FMC speed bugs, and we don't have the landing speed bugs yet, so maybe that needs to be adjusted. Sorry guys, I'm losing my voice, and I don't have COVID, so that's surprising, kind of surprising. Girona airport. So the last time we went to Andorra with Honda Jet, it was too heavy to take off with the passengers, and the passengers had to take all the way the car ride all the way here to Girona, and we had to do the ferry flight from Andorra. It was too heavy to fly with passengers. The runway was too short. Just a, fact. Do you like flying the G3000 or an FMS system like ProLine better? I have a hard time getting used to CJ4 with a FMS versus the TBM 930. I mean, Garmin 3000 is a lot easier than the, for instance, ProLine. The thing is that you don't have the scratch pad here, so if you want to get a flight plan and then they gonna tell you, let's say, after Latro proceed direct to Sierra Uniform 400. In the regular FMS you just press Sierra Uniform 400 and you bring it up to Latro, and this one you have to delete all the way all the points between them. And on the other hand, it has so many options. Like, it really does have a lot of options in the FMC that you will start forgetting how to use them. Like, let's say we're approaching some airport in the winter and there is the cold temperature correction, and we need to apply the temperature correction, and there is like, where the hell do you find that? If you go to flight plan, you go to flight plan options, and you have this airport approach waypoint temperature correction compensation, but it doesn't helping with the minimums in real one. So that's just the example, but it has so many options that you will forget to use them, and it's just missing the scratch pad, so you cannot write or type in anything. But overall, it's easier than the ProLine. It's like more, let's say, pilot friendly. As even Honda is saying that the Honda Jet is made for private guys, like not the corporate pilots or the professional pilots, but the Honda Jet is made for the American doctors, I don't know, dentists or some wealthy guys that they gonna buy that and fly it themselves. So it's meant to be, let's say, easy, and at the end of the day, it's really easy airplane. So they did their job quite well. At least they did what they said they will do. And I am approaching Madrid control, but I'm not going to fly into Madrid control itself. I'm far away. And the other guy is not flying. And one, please, Captain. I prefer CDO than this FMC. Yeah, it's all like, some people will like that one, some people will like the FMC, like the regular CDU. It's just getting it's a matter of getting used to, let's say. We are 330 feet below, so let's reduce the rate a bit. And we can change to speed 260 or even 250. There's no reason to go so fast here. So as you see, Marwan has spent a lot of time to model all of this stuff, the textures, sounds, buttons, like everything is working here, and the cabin, of course, sound packs. And the best thing about this airplane is the flight model, which I find really realistic. And hopefully you will be able to see it yourself anytime soon. Okay, so we do have the real world weather, and we can get a short update on the meter. 1430. No, it's not in the US one. It's already the old one. That's whatever. We see the ground, so it's not really utmost importance to get the latest weather here. And we're descending to 8,000 feet on QNH 1024. I'm gonna pre-select the QNH already. 25,300, 25,000. It's set in here as well. Yeah, there we go. N-1 captain. Okay. I don't get what you're saying, man, but if you like to explain, I would be happy to listen about that. Okay. We are approaching we're approaching lateral, so that's the initial approach fix, lateral, and we go to arrival, and we're flying towards lateral, then Letza, and then turn north, and we are going to fly into this valley. Then after we fly into the valley, we break off to the right and do the left turn to land on runway 21 in Andorra. Actually, it's in Spain, but we called it Andorra airport. And you will be able to see the aircraft position in a couple of seconds in here. Once we get towards Latro, and it's 8 miles outbound, you will see the position here, and this magenta airplane just following through the line, which is super nice feature on Garmin 3000. Ah, no single engine operations today. I did that already on my Polish channel. I listened to somebody, and then unfortunately we have shut down one of the engines. But what we can do, we can try to go idle on one engine. And the Honda itself, it's, let's say, kind of stable. It's a really stable airplane. So if you do have one engine with full power and the other one is on idle, you don't really feel much difference. So it's unlike 737 that will need a lot of rudder. This one is, one is idle, the other one is full power, and it doesn't really change nothing. So let's go back to the equal throttle. So we are approaching lateral, as you see. Let's start reducing speed to 50. And can we already see the airport? I believe we cannot. But we are going to fly into this valley. It's just in here, somewhere in here. And it seems that unfortunately it's going to be under the snow. So if it's too bad, I will just change the weather. Because the Microsoft Flight Simulator doesn't really draw the runway. It has some glitch in the textures. Like if it's snowy, it's just, getting out of hand. And we should be landing in about 10 minutes from now, guys. Maybe even 8 minutes from now until landing. So let's double check if the seatbelt sign is on. It is on. And we can continue with the checklists. Altimeters are 1024 and are set. Approach checklist, seats and signs adjusted, secure. Passenger briefing completed. Cabin signs are on. Avionics are all set. Landing data is set and confirmed. So it would be displayed here. CAS messages, it's all reviewed. We don't have any CAS messages. Approach briefing completed. Flaps take approach. That's the next point of the checklist. So we are at the 16,000 feet. And it seems that we are 800 feet higher than expected. But this one is 7,000 and the next is 5,600, so we can increase that just a little. 2,000 feet per minute should work. Okay, once we get towards the airport, we are going to use the RNP runway 03, which I have created myself, and we are going to follow this RNP 03 And from minimums we're going to brake to right and then do the left turn to land on runway 21. Awesome. Thank you, Captain. Yes, my previous rating was 78 and it requires much rudder input initially until rudder trim is used. It certainly does, so 737 needs a lot of rudder and Honda Jet doesn't need almost no rudder at all. You can adjust the snow depth, looks good, but if you put a lot you can't see shit. To be honest, I don't know how to do this, and I do have the real world weather. So hopefully it won't be necessary. 8,000 at Sierra Uniform, 17 Sierra. So we're kind of a little high. And we're basically flying into the valley. We fly to here and the airport is just in there. But we'll see that in a second. Or we can just go and weather, make it say April or something. No, it's not going to take away the snow. Yeah, I leave it like here, like this for now. If I don't see the runway, then I switch off the live weather. And I'm reducing speed to 20 knots. 220 set and idle power. So if you have any more questions, I will be happy to answer them, but after we finish the approach and landing in Andorra, which we are already starting. So yes, we're turning right towards the valley here, and you see that it's very close to the train itself. So this approach is very, you know, maybe not difficult, but it will take a lot of attention to the altitudes, so you're not getting into the train. And now you can see that once I set the relative terrain, it will display the terrain that is actually a threat to me. Not all of the terrain I see. 09 Sierra at 7,000 feet, which is set, and we can continue descending to 7,000. Speed going back to 200. Yeah, I'm just not descending, so. Now it's a bit better, huh? And next it's 5,600. So as soon as we pass that mountain, we should see the airport itself, which is in front of us. But I can't really see nothing, to be honest. Maybe just not yet. Real time doesn't really change nothing. Ah, there's the airport. See? It's just covered in snow. And it's just in here. Yeah, let's leave it off. Otherwise we don't see anything. And I want you to see the runway instead of patch of snow. Next is 5,600. 5,600. Vertical speed 5,600. Speed going to 180. So we are going to brake to the right to the circuit land and land on runway 21 in here in Andorra. 5,600 and then we go to the approach phase. So the thrust is idle. Flaps take approach please. And speed going back to 140. And the checklist. Flaps take approach, and next is before landing checklist. I will leave it open so we don't forget to do that. Okay, key down. Speed is going to 120. And full flaps. Landing gear is down. Speed brake retracted. Flaps are landing. Airspeed is going to VREF. Autopilot yield dampener to go. That's the landing checklist completed. And the VREF speed would be around 110. Okay, we are already at minimums, so autopilot is disconnected and we are going to fly it visually now. Towards the runway and then right and left to runway 21. In case of misapproach, we're climbing to 8,000 feet. And we basically follow the same route out of the valley. Hopefully we can make it, we'll see. And now you can see on the PFD, on the MFD, that it's really a lot of terrain around that you don't want to hit to. Okay, so we are braking to the right. And now we are flying visually. It's kind of tight, so we don't really want to go too far. And we might expect to have a lot of pull-up terrain messages on the way, so it wouldn't be really surprising. And as I'm flying downwind, the ground speed is a lot higher than the airspeed. And you can see the airport itself is elevated, so you don't take into account this terrain, but the airport that is like 100 meters higher than the rest of the terrain around, so we don't want to descend anymore already. Let's set the runway heading 210. So I do have any reference for that. And kind of 210 is set, so we can now go back to fly along the runway. Yeah, the visibility of HondaJet is like average, I would say. So you can see out of the flight deck, but not really far away. Okay, it's time to turn. You cannot really go further forward because of terrain, so we have to turn. Landing checklist is completed. We are clear to land. And we already do have the airport in sight. There we go. And again, it's quite a short runway, so we don't really want too far to go too far away, or do the high energy approach or nothing. It's kind of some trees in the approach path. I don't remember them, but that's just a simulator. 109. And there we go, over the trees, and runway 21 identified, and let's do the idle, touchdown, and manual braking. $60 knots. So ladies, gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to Andorra. Vacating via Alpha, and there is short taxi to the ramp. There is actually nothing in the ramp, it's just one hangar and the tower. So one of the most interesting, or at least more interesting airports in Europe to fly to. I believe we're gonna just take this right here. And flaps are going up. Trims are set. So that's the after landing procedure. If you taxi too fast, you can hear these rattling noises, which is giving you this nice immersion. Nicely done, Marwan. I would say I would take this one. Why not? I started to turn a bit too late, but we have managed somehow. Looks good to me. Parking brake is set. And let's cut off the engines. Engine number 2 and engine number 1. Yeah. You get a whole bunch of different CAS messages once you switch off the engines. And we can run the checklist quickly. So, thrust levers, idle brake supply, speed brake extended, cabin size as required, engine start, engine anti-ice is off, so the cabin signs are off, engine anti-ice is off, speed brake is retracted. I didn't extend it for landing because I didn't want to go down there to extend the speed brake. It doesn't really give you much here. Flaps are up, trims are set, so we usually set the trims back to 4 units or around 4 units. Shutdown parking brake set, wheel chocks installed, engine anti-ice off, extra power is on. You can switch it on because why not? Thrust levers cut off, cabin signs off, oxygen supply pull off, parking brake release. So once we have the chocks in, we have to release the parking brake, or we should release, but we don't have to do that. And battery is going to off. So guys, let's open the main door and mark this last item on the checklist and switch off the battery and the ground power. So once again, good afternoon, good evening, welcome to Andorra and MG Honda Jet. There we go. You can take a look outside, we can walk around the airplane. I'm just wondering if it would be possible to have this shop and edition decal on that one. It would look like a real one then. And we are in Andorra with this beautiful airplane. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm jumping back to Jut if you had any questions. How do you adjust the snow using BGM season mode? I don't have this mod, sorry guys. Nice landing, thank you very much guys. So, once again, thank you very much for watching. For more information about the Honda Jet, visit the MG Discord, MG Honda Jet Discord page, which is linked below the video. And I wish you all a very pleasant afternoon, and I hope to see you again. Thank you guys, and see you next time. Bye bye.